final fall, before the lies grew roots inside the hall, before the mask returned in a borrowed face. There was a fraction no one dared to trace. I stayed in silence just to feel belonged, held my breath in rooms where I never belonged. They called me one of us, whispered soft and clean, but the warmth disappeared once I wasn't seen. I faded out quietly week after week, because every word I spoke felt obsolete. Their circle closed tighter with every day, and I learned how it feels to be pushed away. I blamed myself for walking out, but now I see the truth without a doubt. The cracks were there long before the end. I was only a guest, they like to pretend. This is what happens when the circle breaks, when the ones who preach loyalty are caught in their fakes. You say family forever, then watch me drown. You build your thrones high, but your morals fall down. This is what happens when the mask returns, when the past comes knocking and no one learns. You shelter the serpent and blame the bitten, and call betrayal fate. Already written, long before now the pattern began. When you let a snake walk in again, when you swore never again, we shut the door, but left it cracked open just once more. I remember the silence, the second you knew, the hours I waited but the nothing came through. The pain I carried alone on the floor, while you asked why I didn't trust you anymore. And then came the stories behind the scenes, a monster dressed up in borrowed means. You said she'd change, but the trail was the same, just painted in colors to hide the shame. And lotus fell apart inside my hands, while you stood there still shifting sands. I left because no one cared to ask if I was drowning under my own mask. I waited for someone to see the scars, but you just stared at your rising stars. You clung to shadows, defended decay, and pushed the broken ones away. You said, family, where were you then? You said, trust me, but you lied again. You said, we'll protect you, then turned your back. You crowned a serpent, then blamed the attack. You promised healing, you offered smoke, and you wonder why the circle broke. You defend the abuser, you silence the hurt, you worship the mask while they grind us in dirt. You protect the monster, you shame the betrayed. You call it loyalty, I call it decay. This is what happens when the circle breaks, when the ones who preach loyalty hide behind fakes. You call yourselves guardians, but guard no one. You swear on the past, but undo what's been done. This is what happens when the mask returns, when the lessons are ashes and no one learns. You protect the poison and blame the scar, then ask why the wounded walk out so hard. So I burned the room where my memories lived, salted the floor for the lies you forgave. I watched the walls fall, brick by brick, and didn't flinch once as the smoke grew thick. No more waiting for hands that never rise, no more reading truth inside your eyes. Your circle meant nothing when the storm came through. I walked away because the only one left for me was me.